It's 1949 and Winston Churchill faces a terrifying dilemma. The Soviet Union looms stronger and more ruthless by the day. Should he negotiate with Stalin's brutal regime or prepare for war? This question haunts leaders, CEOs, and everyday people alike. When do you bargain with the devil and when do you fight? The answer isn't obvious. But Robert Mnookin, chair of Harvard's negotiation program, has a roadmap for the toughest conflicts imaginable. You might think evil is always an enemy to destroy. Mnookin flips that idea and asks, what if negotiation is survival? Here, why dealing with a ruthless adversary isn't just possible, it's sometimes necessary. Winston Churchill knew Stalin wasn't a friend, he was a threat. Yet in 1949, amid Cold War tensions, Churchill chose to negotiate with Stalin rather than ignite war immediately. This wasn't naive hope. It was a strategic move in a world where the line between ally and adversary blurred, a stark example from history showing hard decisions in deal-making with dangerous foes. Think of negotiation like a fight between a mountain lion and a wolf. Neither can simply overpower the other outright, but both can dance careful steps, testing moves, posturing, to survive and perhaps thrive. Mnookin shows you how negotiation with devils functions as this dance, a mix of instinct, strategy, and timing rather than pure brute force. The payoff, when you learn this dance, conflict isn't blind chaos. It becomes a way to gain leverage, protect what matters, and sometimes even turn adversaries into limited allies or at least predictable opponents. Mnookin reveals that the devil you bargain with may expose weaknesses in your enemy and even yourself, pushing you towards smarter strategies. Negotiation isn't always the answer. Sometimes you have to know that bargaining with the devil costs too much. Here is how you spot those moments before it's too late. Mnookin recounts hostage negotiations involving Al-Qaeda. Negotiators faced terrorists with little trust and brutal tactics. The talks dragged on while lives hung in the balance. This story flags a reality. Negotiating can empower or embolden evil actors, causing enormous collateral damage. Sometimes walking away is a harsh but necessary act. Imagine bargaining with someone who uses your own offers as weapons against you, like a poker player who cheats and reshuffles cards. Bad faith players exploit rules to gain leverage, making negotiations a trap. Mnookin warns that not every negotiation table is even, some are skewed fundamentally against you. So when is quitting smart? Mnookin explains it's about cost-benefit, not courage or weakness. You quit when the price of negotiating outweighs potential gains or when the process legitimizes harmful actors. Knowing this line protects your integrity and power, turning what looks like surrender into strategic victory. Negotiation with evil demands precision, mind games, leverage, and trust measured with a scalpel. Mnookin arms you with tools that tame the wildest conflicts without losing your soul. One of Mnookin's stories highlights how negotiators built guarded trust with South African apartheid leaders, not surrender but a controlled exchange secured by strict accountability, like installing top-tier security systems to prevent theft. This nuanced trust lets you engage safely while hedging against betrayal. Reciprocity is a social glue, but in conflict, it's toxic soil waiting to poison you. Mnookin shows this using negotiation experiments. Give something small, get something in return. Yet with devils, reciprocity can backfire, feeding cycles of manipulation. The challenge is to wield it cautiously, like a double-edged sword. Finally, Mnookin's golden rule is knowing when to slam the door shut. Negotiation isn't a bland middle ground but a dynamic tool, sometimes talk, sometimes fight. When the devil's offer crosses into unacceptable territory, walking away is powerful. That moment flips control back into your hands, not theirs. Back in 1949, Churchill's gamble wasn't just politics. It was a masterclass in balancing risk, leverage, and survival with an untrustworthy adversary. Mnookin's lessons pull you out of black and white thinking about conflict. Next time you're facing a tough negotiation, try this. Map out what you absolutely can't accept and use that as your compass to decide bargain or battle. That clarity changes everything. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.